What I put in.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I gotta turn my mic off, or my speakers off, so hold on a minute. Okay, we're recording right now. I'm trying to get my speakers turned on so there's no echo. And we're going to begin in a moment as soon as I get rid of all these technical difficulties.
I'm going to change it much better.
I haven't here. So I should be able to get that on. So, are you guys hearing me? Can I? Yeah, I want to slide. Call in after the video. Okay, what's going on? Where's my? Are you guys? I go today. Talk about. I mean, there's. This is lovely. We're going to have 3 types of hope going. On yours here in a hosted parties, and within the hosted parties, to sell your products, vendor shows, events, and things like that for tonight. But a lot of the information you get, you can take from that and or from this and apply to those other events. What I'm going to do before I close the video, and that's why I play it with. I don't believe you're going to hear it. From the very beginning party. And I'm going to write. Here we go, guys. talk about when you get um,
I mean, I don't know. It doesn't. No. Okay, there's. Yeah.
One moment, please. You will now be placed into the conference.
Hi guys, it's Cindy and Stacy. Now my speakers want to work. Okay guys, I gotta do my speakers, turn them off. I promise this will be worth your while. I hope it will be anyway. Are you guys? Oh, Lord. It's like I can hear myself. Sorry. What's going on? Okay, I think we're safe. Now, can you tell me if you can hear me? I'm not sure what I'm getting a lot of feedback. Let's try it now. How's the audio? Let me try that. Oh, I know why it's doing it, Dave. Okay. Plan. Okay, how's this? Oh my gosh, did I fix it? Tiana, did I fix it? Oh, thank goodness. Oh, praise the speaker people. I don't know. All right. Now, as I was trying to say, I have this video that I made. Boy, I was stressing. I need to calm down a minute here. I have a video I made, and I'm going to try to play it, see if you guys can hear it or not. So let me know. This is going to start your, this is how you're going to start, the first thing you're going to do when you do a party.
When we talk about a party from beginning to end, the very first thing you want to do when you get a party on your book to put it in your back office. So you want to get your replicated website at the bottom right-hand corner. You want to log in, and then you're going to go ahead and after you're logged in, you'll see the screen. You're going to go ahead and click on Order Now. Once you click on Order Now, you're going to have these options. You're going to click on Party Order. When you click on Party Order, you're going to be given the option to set up a new party or to manage parties. Manage parties is going to show you the parties that you've already put in your back office. But if it's your first party, you're going to go ahead, or a new party, you're going to go ahead and click on Set Up New Party. Then you need to decide whether the customer is existing or is the customer. So if it's one for yourself as the host,
Back.
Losing you sounds like it's in a fishbowl. That closet and that clear missing. It must have missing a lot.
Okay, can you guys hear me talking? Okay. I'm going to go with the video. I'm going to try to remember what I placed on the video, okay? Actually, I'm not. We're going to skip that part. Basically, the point of the video will be put in the back office. I can even post it, I believe, to YouTube and then on Facebook. So you can watch that. But the point of the video is that after you get a party on your book, you do want to put it in the back office right away. So people can start ordering. And typically the people that are going to order online are the people that aren't near the party, if it's, you know, a home party or a hosted party. So it's okay if they go ahead and order, even if the party is not going to be for 3 weeks or so, because when they do order, it's going to ship to them directly. They're not going to sit around and wait for it. So get that put in your back office. As far as the existing customer, if you're the host, you're in the system, you are existing. If you have a customer that has shopped with Meredith Lilly in the past, whether it be through you or another consultant, they will be in the system. So if you go to enter them, let's say you choose new customer, and you put all their information in, and it says this email address already exists. That's going to mean that they've been put in maybe by another consultant. That's fine. Go ahead, back out, and just choose existing and put their information in then. You're going to know if they're new or existing because the system's going to tell you. If you try to put someone in as new, they're already in there, it'll tell you they're existing, and then just go ahead and hit the back button and choose existing. So basically that was my point. You want to get it put in so that, you know, people that aren't going to go to the party, or if it's a virtual party, they can order at any time. So you want to get it in there and get orders started going in. So if anyone has any questions about that part, go ahead and type them real quick, and then we'll move on to the rest, and then we'll hold the rest of the questions till later. Did I tell you I have Stacy's here? Stacy's helping. Of course, I wonder how many people it takes to work the audio if two can't do it. Okay, so we shall move on. So, there's the 3 types of parties, and the first one we're going to talk about is the online virtual party. These are bullet points. I'll go into them a little more in depth, but if you've done any sort of party plan before, you're going to kind of know some of these things, but there are going to be things that are specific to Meredith Lilly. You're going to email a letter to the host along with a copy of the current special. That's the first thing you want to do when you after you get that in your back office. So if someone tells me they want to host an online virtual party, I'm going to quickly put them in the back office because I need the link for people to shop from, and then I'm going to email them a letter. I have posted a copy of a letter that you can use in the Facebook group, and it will also be posted in the library. The software company puts that in the library for us, so I try to put things every so often. I don't want to give them things every single day to put in. So you can look for a lot of new things at one time to be put in there, and that will be one of the things. You can take that letter, you can tweak it, you can change the wording however you want. It's just a baseline. It's going to explain to them different things, you know, about the party. You're going to run the party for 3 weeks or less for a few reasons. The biggest one being that specials change. You don't want a host to be given a letter with a host special and sorry, we're having technical difficulties again. And then when they go to close, those specials have changed. So 3 weeks or less. The customer orders ship to them as they order them because this is a virtual party. They don't ship when it closes. If they've paid for it, it gets submitted and it ships. So once that order is paid for, they don't have to sit around and wait for it, which is good. This means you can run the party for that 3 weeks, and the first person who ordered on day one isn't waiting 3 weeks plus time to produce the item and ship the item for the item, okay? So yes, any orders placed online through a party from a customer are going to ship directly to them when they place the order and it's paid for. So really this is the easiest type of party. You're going to do the letter, you know, send them the specials. The customers are going to place their orders. They're going to ship to them. And then all you really need to do is maybe a couple times ask the hostess if she has any questions, or let her know that you're free in that letter for any questions that he or she may have. And then call the host to wrap up the party when that 2 or 3 weeks, whatever you guys decide on, is up, and help them with their benefits. Then you go into the back office. You see all the orders are in there. You know, they've had 7 orders. They're all there. You know that they're all there. You can see them in there. Now you're going to go in and put in the host benefits and hit submit. That party is now closed and submitted. That's all you had to do for an online virtual party. And then I highly recommend sending a thank you card to the host. Because this is an online virtual party, I do not see any problem with sending them an e-card or a really nice email thanking them, telling them that you appreciate helping you with your business, and you hope that they got, really enjoy their products, and you're so excited for them to get their products and that sort of thing. So really the online virtual parties, again, are the easiest. And the video covered it a little bit. When you go in to set this up, it's going to ask you if it's online or, other choices. You're going to click online. That's going to bring up the link that people are going to shop through. So you do have that option when you set the party up. Now, we're going to talk about catalog parties. Catalog parties are, somewhat the same as a virtual party in the fact that you're not doing a whole lot. I love catalog parties. I have always said that they're, I'm making money and I'm not really doing anything. I don't even have to show up anywhere, really, for an extended period of time. So a catalog party is when the host collects the orders on their own and then hands them in to the consultant, to you. So you want to run those for about 2 weeks, because now remember, they're going to collect these orders over a 2-week period, hand them into you. You're going to submit them in the back office, and then they'll ship. So that first person that ordered at the beginning is going to have to wait. The host can share the party link to those that are not nearby or who prefer to order online. And again, those orders placed online by the customer will be shipped directly to the customer. So you can do, the virtual thing with those people that aren't around or that can't come or that might want to go ahead and order online. But the host is actually going to go and collect orders on their own. They're going to share that catalog with people and collect orders. So what you want to give to the host in the beginning is the letter, again, and you're going to tweak that letter to represent the information you need to let them know regarding a catalog party. So the letter, special flyers, maybe a couple of them, so that they can show the people that they're showing the catalogs to. 3 to 5 catalogs, which you will get back. You may not get one back. You may let the host keep it, no big deal. But because they are $1 a piece, I recommend, letting them know, hey, I'll take those back. And it's not a big thing. Robin in the Facebook group mentioned, and I loved this, that she tells people we're trying to go green. So we don't hand out a lot of catalogs. And that's all you have to say. We're trying to go green. Can I get those catalogs back when you're done with your party? You're going to include order forms. You can include 10 order forms. If they need more, then fine. They will let you know. If they don't use them all, typically they'll give them back to you with the catalog. And there's 100 people sheet that, again, will be in the library. And give that to the host as well. It's going to, it's going to just remind them, like stick in their head. I know people who, I know pregnant people, and so they would like the baby items, or grandmothers, or people who go to my church, that sort of thing. And although all of us might think, well, that's kind of silly, we know who we know, when you give that to the host and they're excited about their party, they will sit down and write that out, and they're going to think of people that they might not have thought about before. So you're going to put all of this in a folder or an envelope. I prefer a 2-pocket folder. If it were me doing the catalog party, I would print out on paper or a sticker the Meredith Lilly logo, and I would put it on the front of the catalog. And if you're putting it on paper, then you just easily, you can I don't know about hot glue, but you can double-side tape the back of it to the folder or whatever. You're going to put your business card on the inside. Get one of those that have the slots for the business card. Put your business card on there and just make it look pretty. And give that to the host. So then at the end of the 2 weeks, you're going to get together with the host for them to turn their orders in and to figure out the host benefits. One thing you want to make sure you do is you're going to sit down and you're going to say, we're going to close the party on this date. Did you want me to come over to your house, or would you like to come to mine, or do you want to meet at McDonald's or whatnot? And make sure you're, carving out 20 to 30 minutes, because you want to go through those customer orders with the host in front of you. If you have any questions, that's the best time to find out, or let the host know that they need to contact the guest because this doesn't look quite right, or, you put this, but that's not an option kind of thing. If you go home and look at them later, then you got to try to get hold of the host again, and then they've got to try to get a hold of that person, and you're just holding up closing this party. So you're going to go through the orders with, while they're there, make sure the money's right, they figured tax out right, shipping out right, and all that, and then figure out their host benefits as well. After you submit all this, you're good. So you really haven't done a whole lot of work to this point. I mean, honestly, I love catalog parties. They do work for you without you really working. So they make money while you're not really doing anything. So you're going to sit, you're going to wait for these orders to come. When the orders come, you're going to bag them up. This is what I suggest. You don't necessarily have to do it this way, but if you want happy customers, you're going to do something with the order. You're not just going to give them the box and say, here, figure it out, okay? So we will include bags with your party orders, okay? We will include just enough bags to fit the stuff in. So if Susie has a bunch of items, we know that Susie needs 3 bags, and you're going to get 3 bags for Susie, or, that sort of thing. and those are included they will be included in your shipment. So you want to bag the orders while making sure everything has arrived correctly. So you're going to go through the form, because you're going to have 2 copies of the form, the order form left. You're going to go through the form. You're going to bag the orders up by customer. You're going to put the second copy of the order form that the customer gets in with their order, and then you're going to give them to the host. Now the host is going to disperse them within, you're going to deliver them to the host within 3 days, and then the host is going to disperse them. So now you have the order form inside the bag, so the host knows who the bag goes to, okay? Then you want to send a thank you follow-up, preferably a snail mail card, just saying, again, thank you for hosting.
This is one here. We need to hosting time. And wait, what is the Osborneization
Thank you for hosting and all that. I don't think it's on you. If you can, it's be phenomenal. So, and we'll open up for questions.
He has an entire cooking barn. That's right. 25,000 square feet.
Do they not know?
That cook over 11,000 pounds of succulent barbecue at a time.
I know.
One of the things that I like so much about is the barbecue chicken. So show me how you prepare the Jennings Osborneized barbecue chicken.
What is it?
This is like. Next, Jennings adds garlic salt, onion salt, and then packs on his unique combination of dry rub.
Name that TV show. That's a good pronoun because they know.
Around the country. No, around the country. Kansas City, sure, Oklahoma. Wow, that is thorough. Okay, so how much?
Hello. Hello out there.
You're the whole chicken.
Oh, it's not muted. We can hear you. We can hear you watching Dry Rub.
And the mammoth pork is still out there.
This is
also for the shin guard. So the melt in your mouth first.
Wow, whoever that is, I want to know, man. There's going to be a quiz at the end.
Look at how incredibly soft the meat is. It breaks right off. Oh,
yeah, not paying attention to us. That's right.
I'm like, I lost the word.
I think it's over.
Literally, no. Oh.
Okay, can you guys hear me over the dry rub? Okay, well, we're going to try this, and hopefully it gets figured out. Okay. Thank you, Deanna. It's good enough. Okay. So, I really am hungry now. I'm just kidding. I don't know where I'm at now, guys. So that's catalog parties. And I know I'm going over this kind of fast for some of you, and for others of you, you're so used to doing parties that it's not a whole lot new, maybe except for the amount of time and that sort of thing. But that's okay, because you'll want to help your front lines with this. Home parties. Now, home parties is where you really get a chance to make a good impression on people. You know, you get to make a good impression regarding yourself and how you conduct your business and the company that you are selling for. So it's important to us here that, you know, I don't want to tell anyone how to act outside of doing a party. But remember, no matter what company you sell for, you are a representative basically for that company. You know, in my small town with the different direct selling companies around, some consultants have given some companies themselves bad names by their practices. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be by their business practices. It can be just behavior outside of doing any sort of business. So just remember, especially during this whole party time, that you are giving them an impression of who you are, what you represent, as well as the products. It's not just about what you're selling. It's about yourself and the fairness and your integrity and your ethics when it comes to business, okay? And that's really important to me. So home parties should be scheduled no further than 4 weeks out. So let's say you're at a home party, you're doing one, and one of the guests wants to book. We are working on booking rewards as well, and we'll announce something about that soon. So someone wants to book a party off of that party or whatever, one of your friends now wants to okay. Sweet. Hope nobody has the phone to their ears. That would have blown my eardrum off. So I, again, forgot where I was. Okay, so somebody wants to book off of your lunch party. It's fine. I just let them know that we need to do it within a month because the specials might change, that sort of thing. If it's longer than a month out, I would say, okay, write it down and get back to them 4 weeks prior so that you can actually get it on your book. You do want to follow up with them. If they want to book in 2 months, make sure in a month you follow up with them because if you wait until a week or two prior, they're probably not going to do it. So try to schedule them no more than 4 weeks out. Then what you're going to do is, okay, the first thing is what? We're going to come home and we're going to put it in our back office. Or I would just probably sit there in the driveway and do it on the tablet with my iPad. So you're going to do that. Then you're going to come home and get the host packet together. You're going to use the same items as you would with a catalog party, plus invitations if they want to. With our system and the e-bites, you're going to see, we've already seen that a lot of people don't want paper invitations, period. Even if it's somebody who doesn't use the internet, they're just going to call or whatever and let them know and then take the order over the phone, that sort of thing. But if they want invitations to mail, what we've decided to do, and this is, again, we just made this decision, and I think, Robin really helped with it when she said go green. We were deciding what to do regarding invitations. So instead of postcard invites, what we've decided to do is a PDF in the back office. It'll print out to be the size of a regular sheet of paper. You'll be able to fill in the who, what, where, when, why, sorts of things. Fold it over, staple it, and mail it. This way we're not wasting paper by getting a ton of postcard invites made. We're not giving them out to hosts who won't ever use them. I still have over 1,000, seriously, from a company that I was with previously, and that was giving them out every single party, and I was very busy. But they would end up giving them back to me, or even if they didn't use them, they ended up, in the recycle bin or whatever. So very, it's not very likely that they're going to want a lot. So that way you can even just send them via email those invites if you want. Or I would ask them how many they want, and I would print them out for them. And then I would put them in the host packet. Again, you want to do the same sort of thing as you did with the catalog party. You're going to put it in a packet folder or an envelope. Then you're going to contact, this is assuming that the party is 2 weeks or more out, but 2 weeks prior to the party, you're going to contact them to touch base. Just, ask them how they're doing. Have they gotten a chance to look through the catalog? Have they made a wish list? That sort of thing. And then 3 days prior to the party, you want to call them one more time. And when you call that 2 weeks before, go ahead and ask them, have you sent your invitations out, your e-bites, all that stuff, and do you know how many people are planning on coming? Then on that 3 days prior, you really want to contact just, let's say, so have you decided if you're going to serve anything or, what you're going to serve for snacks, that sort of thing, and ask them, how many people have you gotten to RSVP yet to the party? This is going to help you so you know what you're getting into when you show up, okay? So those are for the traditional home parties, and for the open house parties, you're going to do these 4 things, irregardless of which type it is, okay? Then we're going to go to the home parties. Traditional home parties begin at a specific time. So I find, for some reason, Thursday nights are good, like 7 o'clock, 6:30. Weekends, it depends. Again, like if the person goes to church, you want to do it 3:30 or 4. If they just go to church in the morning, usually their friends do the same thing. Ask them what's good for them, and schedule. I don't think there is a best time. I think there is a best time depending on the host and their friends. So they're going to begin at a specific time. Also, on that note, I want to let you know that you should, if a host cannot commit to a date, you should always give them 2 choices. So if they say, I'm not sure, oh boy, and they're just kind of wavering, like they just can't make up their mind, step in and say, would you rather do a weeknight or a weekend? That's 2 choices. Okay, now they're going to answer you, you're going to eliminate it. Weekend, okay, would you rather do a Saturday or Sunday? Sunday, so we've eliminated Saturday. Okay, great. Would you rather do an early afternoon or an early evening? So always give them 2 choices. That's going to help get you on the book, get them on the book. You're going to arrive 30 to 45 minutes prior to the start of the home party to set up your display and touch base with the host. So remember, you've given the host some catalogs and order forms. Maybe they've gotten some orders from people who can't come. There is a very good time after you're set up to look over those orders and talk to them about it. Now, you want to have folders or lap boards prepared for the guests. I started out my direct selling, career with 2 pocket folders, and I made it a goal that once I made X amount in commission, I could invest in lap boards. And if you don't know what those are, you can just look them up. They're really nice because they're sturdy. They're a board, and they have the 2 sides to them. They're like a clipboard, but with pockets, right? Is that what you would say? And so on one side, I would put the special flyer, and then on the other side in the pocket, I would include a catalog, an order form, a drawing form, which we'll get to, and then you have a place for the pen and your business cards. But you can do the same thing with folders. You can go to Walmart, any store like that, and get them, especially like back to school time or when they're clearancing for 10 cents and any other time for like a quarter or whatever. So pick up a bunch. You can be really colorful if you want, or you can do all the same colors. And then again, with those, you can even print out the Meredith Lilly logo, like I said, for the host packet and put them on the guest folders. It's up to you how you want to do it. But remember, the nicer things look, and they don't have to cost a lot of money. That's the big thing. You don't have to spend a lot of money. So, but the nicer they look, the more professional you're going to look, the more impressed people are going to be. You're going to hand out the folders to each guest as they arrive. So they're coming in. You've gotten there at 5:45. It starts at 6:30. You've set up. You've talked to the host, and then about 6:10 people are starting to come in. 6:15. You're going to take a folder or lap board, and as they walk in, you just go up to them, hand it to them. Hi, here you go. I'm Cindy. How are you? I'm glad you could come. Always introduce yourself. It's very important. When the start time arrives, tell the guests you are going to begin and ask them to go around and introduce themselves. You don't have to do the introduction part. Ask the host, because sometimes people feel very awkward doing that, and you don't want to make them feel awkward. But if it's pretty much people that already know each other, a lot of times they're fine with it, and that helps you connect with them a little more too. you might hear their name then for a second time after you've introduced yourself prior. They've probably told you their name. Now you're going to hear it again. And it's really great when you know someone's name for later on in the night when you want to help them. You can walk up to them and say, hey, Marilyn, how you doing with that order? And when you connect with them and say their name, again, they're going to be very impressed. So, and what I usually do when it's 6:30 comes around, I'll look at the host and I'll say, hey, Susan, do you think this is everyone who's coming? Oh, I know my sister's coming. She's always late. I'll say, well, we'll leave it a few more minutes. Is it okay if she's not here after that we start? And I'm sure they'll say yes. If they say yes, everybody's here, then just let the host know you're going to begin. And they typically will have everybody quiet down or whatnot. You're going to give a brief presentation about the company and tell the guests about yourself. You want to connect with them, okay? Again, that's why we've tried to get their name and we've introduced ourselves the first time, and then we've done introductions. Now you're going to talk about Meredith Lilly. There is a bio, on the website. You can just sort of condense it. Don't make it sound real like you're reading it. Just say, hey, there was this chick that, you know what I'm saying. You don't make it sound too professional. You want it to be a casual thing. But when you're talking about, let them know that personalization is always free. We have gifts for every occasion, from serious, fancy weddings, to a baby sitting up on his bib, kind of thing. So we've got gifts for everything. Personalization is always free. We're out of a small town in Illinois. And then tell them about yourself so they can connect with you. I really think that if you're a genuine person, they really, and they connect with you, you're going to do better selling.
They'd like to know how you got it.
Exactly. Why are you doing this? Who are you to be doing this? Kind of thing. They want to know. And as you're doing this, and this is different too, you've got companies out there that are going to tell you how you should dress, what you should wear, and exactly what you should say, and we're not that company. But I do recommend that you find a chair and sit down on their level with them. You don't have to stand up like you're on stage and do a presentation. I recommend not doing that. You want to be on their level. You want to be, just like you're sitting around having a nice girl talk or whatever with them. So just have a seat and do it. If there's nowhere to sit, just kind of stand up, but be, again, very casual about it. You don't have to act like or make them feel like they're a student in your classroom. You want to be on their level. Then you want to play a short icebreaker game. Give something small as a prize. And again, we are working on this. We're trying to decide a couple items to sell in the back office to consultants only that will probably have either a logo or the name's Meredith Lilly on them that you can buy in more of a bulk thing, cheaper, that you can give away as prizes and things like that. So my ideas are the ID pouch, the key fob, etc. Have it be something that promotes you and Meredith Lilly that they will use. So I started in the Facebook group. I put a couple games on there, the left-right game, and Julie, I think, mentioned it in the Facebook group, the left-right game. I think I had put one on there. But you'll find that everywhere. It's where you tell a story, and every time you say left, something gets passed to the left. Every time you say right, it gets passed to the right. And at the end of the story, whoever has it has won, right? Oh, you just said right. Now they have to pass it so the person next to them wins. Get it? So that sort of thing. But you can Google direct sales party games, and you will find 1,000,001. But while you're doing that, remember this next point. Guests seriously do not want to listen to long presentations or play long games. I have found that out. I found that out when I first started, and I had people literally like raising their hand in the middle of my presentation and telling me they had to hurry up and get going in a few minutes and ask if they could look at the products while I was still presenting. So you don't want to do that. You want it's short and sweet and to the point because they want to shop and they want to socialize with the people who are there. That's why they're there. And most of the time it's a girls' night out. And how many of those do we get? Not very many. So when they're out, they want to socialize with their friends. Yeah, they'll listen to you, but you'll notice that attention spans don't last that long when you're, going on and on. So keep it short and sweet, the presentation and the game. So after you're done with that, when I say excuse yourself, I don't mean like, excuse me, I'm going to go over, I don't mean to be all proper about it. But after you're done with the game, yay, good job, here you go, here's your prize, then I would say something like, okay, ladies or people or whoever's here, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead. I will be right here. Why don't you take a look at my display and let me know if you need anything. You have your order forms and catalogs in your folders. And like I said, I'll be right here, so have fun, enjoy yourself. And I sit there and I, get my stuff together, my calculator and my pens and everything. And then about 10 minutes later, I'll stand up. I'll walk over to where the majority of the people are, which is usually around your display, and I'll start asking them one-on-one if they need help with their order. This, again, is where Meredith Lilly wants to be a little different. You want to go to each guest and talk one-on-one with them. As we talked about in a prior webinar that I'm not sure a lot of you were on, I think we had some different people on, events of a lifetime can be really stressful events. And I know for me, when I'm buying a wedding gift or a baby gift, I get lost. I'm not sure what I should get. So that's where the consultant's going to go in and make this fun and easy for the person. Again, ask them 2 questions at once. Is it a boy or a girl? That's what you're going to start with that. Do you think that, does the mom need a lot of things, or is it mostly what she wants? Oh, okay, so she needs things. So why don't we start with the things that are the things you would more need, like bibs, okay? Stuff she wants, oh, how about the elephant? That sort of thing. So go and help them one-on-one with their order, and that's where that connection that you made earlier is really going to help. Then when you're done with that, you may get up and say, okay, ladies, here I am. Who needs help first? And a lot of times they'll be like, me, I'm so confused about this order form. And that's where you're going to start your one-on-one. When you're done, just say, all right, I'm so glad I can help you. I will be right over here. I know some of you are ready to check out and you need to get going, so I'm going to go right over here with my stuff. If you want to follow me, I can do your orders one at a time and we can get going. So you're going to figure out the orders, collect the money, and close with the host once the party is obviously over. So when the party is obviously over, you can tell it's died down, the guests start leaving, everybody's done shopping, and that sort of thing. So it's best to close with the host that night when you've gotten all the orders, but they may say, oh, my girlfriend ended up not making it and she wants to put an order in. So if you can't close that night, then set a day within 2 to 3 days to close that party so you can get everything submitted. Okay, so now that's a home party, a traditional home party. Then there's the open house style parties. The same guidelines apply as a traditional home party regarding the host packet, contacting the host, and that sort of thing. The biggest difference with an open house style party is that they start at a specific time and run for 2 hours, ending at a specific time, but that guests can arrive as they please. So you're going to have it from 6:30 to 8:30 instead of at 6. So the invite's going to say 6:30 to 8:30 open house instead of 6:30. So this works better for many people as the guests don't feel pressure to arrive right at a specific time. I know that when people see an invite that says 6:30, if they get off at 6, off work at 6 or 6:30, they're not going to come. But if they know they have until 8:30 to show up, they typically will. So it works with busy schedules a lot better. And you typically do see a better turnout at an open house than a traditional home party. You're not going to do a presentation or a game in front of everybody because they're going to be coming and going at different times. But what you are going to do is talk to each guest and hand them their folder as they arrive, just like with the other one, but explain the company and products to them one-on-one. And I kind of do it by saying, here you go, hi, I'm Cindy, nice to meet you. And then I'll say, once they, have taken their coat off and say hi to the guest or the host, then I'll say, do you have a few minutes? I'll just tell you a little bit about the product. I'll walk them over to the display. I'll say, these are Meredith Lilly products. Personalization is always free. We blah, 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 blah. And then I, let them look at the catalog and that sort of thing on their own. And then I'll go back up to them, a little while later and see if I can help them. So it's just more one-on-one than a party. Then since you're not doing a game, you for sure want to do a door prize drawing at the end of the night. And that's where that prize form that I said to put in the folder is going to come in for sure. Now you can do that at a traditional home party. Then you're going to have two prizes. You're going to have the game prize and you're going to have the door prize. The reason you do a door prize is because those forms, which again I posted on Facebook and they will be in the library, give you people's name and email addresses. So you have those people that you can contact later on if you're doing specials or you just want to tell them what our specials are. You can forward them the flyers or whatnot, so you're getting contacts. And trust me, 10 contacts is worth a $4 at retail price ID pouch. So you want to do a door prize drawing at the end of the night. If the guest that has won has gone, give it to the host to give to them. But that way you're getting their information and they're filling it out. And that's also another way for you to connect with that guest. Oh, did you fill out the door prize drawing form? Here's my basket. And you're going to go, that's another reason to talk to them and connect with them. Make sure to follow up all home parties with a snail mail thank you card to the host. You went there, you met them maybe, for the first time, really met them. You might have talked to them for a little bit prior when you booked it. Or you might not have really talked to them much. It was at another party and you only talked to them to help them with their order. You might have dropped off their host packet in their mailbox because they were at work. So this is the first time at the party that you really met them. But remember, they've allowed you into their home. So you want to thank them for allowing you to come into their own home to share Meredith Lilly and the product with their friends and family. Tell them how much you appreciate it. And a little kindness will go a long way. I promise you, it really does. You would not, well, maybe you would. I mean, I see people who don't do those things and the people who do those things. And you might do that and think nothing's ever going to come of it. And a year later, they've remembered that and they're calling you back to have another party, or their friend is having a party 6 months later. So just remember that the things that you do like that may not immediately show results, but eventually they do. They really, really do. So now I ask you, what do you think is the number one way to have a successful party? And I'm going to look at the chat and see what you guys, if anybody wants to say something, unless you looked at the slide before. Does anyone know the number one way? Dawn, that is hilarious because we were sitting here and, my mom had surgery, so she's been staying with us, and we had dinner, and I was putting this together, and she said, well, if nobody comes, I don't think it's going to be very successful, because that wasn't the answer, but you're right. I mean, people, obviously. You got to have people there. So, and friendliness and being enthusiastic, those are all great ways. But I'm going to tell you, I guess we could say a well-planned party, Rebecca, that is exactly. And host planning is huge. You guys are all right. Susan, got it. Be knowledgeable. Do you want to flop? Don't know your products and don't know your catalog, and that will make you look so silly that no one's going to buy from you, I promise. So know your products and the catalog. You know, it's okay if you don't know every single thing about a product, but you better know where to find it in the catalog when they ask, right? So if they're saying, can I get this that looks like this, it's fine to say, what page is that on? Flip to it, but you should really know what an I stands for, or if it's bolded, what that means, and that sort of thing. Okay, so make sure when you guys get your catalogs, or even before that, they're online. Oh my gosh, who was it that got one printed at Staples in the group? They got one catalog printed for $11.
Oh my!
Can you imagine? But you know, I'm not suggesting you do that. But get to know your catalog, even if it's before your catalog comes to you that you've ordered. And I would also highly recommend getting to know your order form. We need you to use Meredith Lilly order forms for several reasons, but honestly for legal reasons is a big reason, so that the customer has a copy and that you have a copy. But for legal reasons, we really need you to be using the carbon copies. That way you're going to see that the original is the same as the two copies. And, you know, nobody can say, oh, they fudged it. No, they're the same, it's the same thing, whatever. So, make sure that you're using our order forms and get to know them. The customer is initialing those order forms. They're keeping a copy of it. You want to make sure if something ever happens and they try to come back to you with, you know, and say something came wrong or whatever, no, I gave you the copy. You have the copy that you initialed that says it was correct and that sort of thing. So make sure they're getting their copies that they need, and make sure that, you're keeping your copy for how long? How long do we want to keep our copy for? Anyone remember what I said on the Facebook group? Shanza. Oh, let's take the two of you and go kind of in the middle. How about 3 years? You want to keep those for 3 years. For tax reasons, for legal reasons, for a million reasons. So 3 years. And that's fine. After the first year of doing them, you can lump them all together. You know, usually I have my my hosts by, you know, in alphabetical order in their own file folder, that sort of thing. So every party has all the receipts from that party. But at the end of the year, when you're all done, you can just lump all your parties together into like 2013 is one big file folder or whatever, and then just keep those for that amount of time. So here is a display that we did to kind of show you how you can do this with not much, honestly, not a lot of cost. And these are products, I can't tell you because I'm not in production, but some of these are products that customers have ordered or consultants. So you might see your product on here that haven't been shipped because the order hasn't been completed quite yet. But, so yeah, Tiana, there's your key fob again. I told you it's too bad you're never getting your order. So what I did, and I'm going to go through this just for a second. If you see that 3-tiered and the coaster, if you see the 3-tiered little shelf thing, I got that at a thrift store, and I think it was like $3. And it's actually a plant stand is what they call them, I think. So you can do that. Or another thing I do if I don't have that with me is I might take empty, like, square boxes, place them underneath the tablecloth, and stack things going, different size boxes. So you've got a large, a medium, a small, and you can kind of stack them differently. But here are the products, and we just did this one setup. But as you see, we don't have a whole lot of things, so you don't have to go crazy ordering your starter kit, and you can get things as you go. But we use the market tote, and that we put some catalogs and order forms in. So if people mess up, or a lot of times you'll find, and it's kind of funny, I mean, I don't drink myself, so I like to watch people that do, but, the women get a little tipsy and they can't find their folder anymore. So the market tote with the order forms and catalogs is kind of nice. Then at the end of the night, you just go clean up and find all the folders that they've lost. But so we put the market tote in back with some catalogs and order forms, and then just showed a variety of products. I took those fake lilies on the table, were from the dollar store, and then it's spring, so you can just go to the dollar store and buy a few springy items and dress your table up. So it's really easy. And the tablecloth, now if you get a black tablecloth like that, we're looking into Meredith Lilly ones, but since we don't have any right now, I've used in the past, depending on the color scheme I wanted to go with. Like if it was Christmas and I wanted to do a red tablecloth, but I didn't have one and they were kind of expensive, I would get a flat bed sheet and use that. And nobody even knows the difference because they're not looking around the corners or the bottom. They're looking at the top. So you can really make things pop. And if you go to, Walmart or a store like that, you can get a flat bed sheet really cheap. So you could get a black one, and you could get whatever's going to match your scheme, and then you could change out for seasons. I'm looking at black ones with silver, either the logo or the name and silver bling on the front. I'm not sure. I'm pricing them. I have several people who do bling items. And, I was supposed to call one tonight, and I so forgot. Sorry. So I have several of them that we're looking into that. And, yeah, old curtains, anything like that is just going to cover the table because you never know what you're going to run into. My table here is pretty nice. I could probably put stuff on without a clock. But when you go to other people's houses, you don't really know what you're getting into. So it's nice to have something to cover that table. We are going to go ahead and do some Q&As now. You can go ahead and type your questions. You can talk your questions. If you're on the phone and want to unmute yourself, that's fine too. I'd love to hear your beautiful voices. And I'm going to start first real quick with a few questions that we had as we were going. I did that earlier. I answered that. Okay, thank you. And if you guys want to be the host, that's fine. In fact, we encourage it. It's not a problem. Why not? Go ahead and be the host and get the benefits. A lot of people are doing that for their launch parties. So go ahead and set up a launch party and be your host. You can do it as many times as you want. We don't have a problem with that. Get the benefits, build your stock up. Exactly. Build up your display stuff. Buy your kids the elephant for the half-off item. I mean, that's fine. I'm reading questions here. Okay. Shannon, did you asked if they could host more than one party? Can you clarify what exactly you meant? I'm sorry. At the beginning, you want to know. Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. They can do as many as they want, as often as they want. In fact, the best host is one that's going to host a party every 2 months when we change our specials because they want the host special. So absolutely, they can do as many as they want. And so can you. You can be the host as many times as you want too. Someone typed that they didn't know how to do a launch or virtual party. We did go over it a little bit. and this will be posted. So, and then the video that we couldn't watch will be posted as well. So stay tuned. If someone that's out of state orders, how are they going to get their order? Is that the question? Basically, what you're going to want to, what you do is, let's say your mom was out of state, and she calls you with an order. You're going to put that in your back office, and then you're going to choose direct ship instead of ship to you. So it's going to go to your mom out of state instead. And then if they order online, like we talked about themselves, it's going to go right to them anyway. So when you enter orders in the back office, you have that option of direct shipping to each customer or shipping to you. You will get emails of the specials as they change. The current special is until the end of April. It is in the back office. Always check your library to see when new things. You may not always get an email about everything, but you should check your back office often. So to see if new things have been posted. But you should get an email. And I want to make sure everybody's profile emails are up to date. So if you change your email address, change that in the back office on your profile, because I'm going to start using a different email service to email consultants, and I want to make sure that I'm getting the correct address in there. Host benefits are pretty easy. You're going to look at the back of the catalog. It's going to tell you how much they're going to get for free, and it's going to tell you how many half-price items. We really made our host benefits, I think, easy for you guys. So if they have a $400 party, you're going to take the percentage in free that they get based on the back of the catalog there where we have it listed, and they're going to get, and that's, when I say $400, that's before taxes and shipping. So you're going to take whatever percentage it is they get, and they're going to get that in free items, okay? And then for every $100, they get a half-price item. We made that very simple. So at $100, they get one. At $200, two. Infinite amount. They can get an infinite amount of half-price items. If their party's $1,100, they can get 11 half-price items. Now, that being said, if they have 11 half-price items and only want 5, you are more than welcome to take the other 6 yourself. Okay? So we are completely fine with that as well. I'm looking at the questions here. And then when you go to enter the host benefits in your back office, it really just walks you through it. It'll say your host, and that's another thing, it'll say your host gets X amount in free, and it'll say how many half-price items they get, and then you just go and you choose what they want for their free, and then you choose what they want for their half-price. It's listed out. We had a question about the shipping and the $8. What I would recommend, you can't do it that way because a party isn't until they get so much. So, but it's going to charge them. It's already in the system. It's going to charge them the direct ship amount unless it's shipped with a party that is X amount. So the system is actually smart enough to know that. So does that answer your question, Tiana? Well, hi, Christy. I didn't know you were with us. Let's see. Oh, you're exiting. So she's exiting. Bye, Christy. Yes, Nancy, you can just post the link. Oh, you don't post your website link. What you do is you set it up in your back office as a virtual party, and it will give you a link. The link that it gives you is the link that you want to share. That link has your party ID in it, and as long as they shop through that link, it will connect to your virtual or launch party. Okay? So it's not just the link to your website, it's actually the link to your party. Every party has the same URL, but the party ID for every party is different. When you set it up, you will see your very own link, and that's the one you want to share with them. I think we did. Tiana, you can place the order for them.
No, they can't avoid the $8.
They can't avoid the shipping. They're going to have to pay the shipping if it's not within a party. But you can place it for them. So if it's someone that doesn't go online, at all, like my grandma or someone that doesn't do internet, you can go in and do an individual order, but it's still going to charge them the individual order price, even if you put it in the back office. The only way they're going to get reduced shipping is if it's linked to a party. Okay, I think we've covered that. Okay, that's one. All right, we're trying to catch up with the. Okay, yes, it'll ship to them, Tiana. And I mean, you can put your, like, if it was my grandma and I want, like, shoot, with technology, I would put it in for her, and I would just have it shipped to me for the $8 or whatever, and then I would give it to Grandma, because, and say, oh, Grandma, it came today or whatever. So you can have it shipped to you or them, but if it's not with a party, it's going to be that other shipping. And I will say that we did a lot of research on shipping costs, and we were told by many, many, many people who have been in the direct selling world for a long time that our shipping costs were too low, that we were going to find out that our shipping costs were way too low, especially with a party at $2 or $3 per person. So just know that we have tried to keep the cost down as much as we could. And I do know that the orders that we've shipped out, we've probably eaten money on every order for shipping. Not a whole lot, but we're trying to keep it reasonable for people. So, yes, people can order individually from your website. They just go right to your website and place an order like they're shopping from any website, just, like a normal place. And it'll show up as an individual order in your back office, and commission will be run on that. So if they were to do it tonight, it would come with the first commission run, that sort of thing. So if it's not towards a party, and, if you're giving your business card out to a bunch of people and they go on and they want to place an order individually, that's totally fine. They can do that, and it'll go right to them. Does anyone else have any other questions? No, there's not a list. That's the one thing. I do want to explain that with our software and being a startup company, we had to try to find the software that had the most things that we wanted closest to what we could get. Because honestly, and we do have features some of the bigger companies don't have. But the one thing they won't do is see a list. So that's why you're going to go ahead and give that link to everybody, okay?